Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So this is my third video, and I have one more that I'm going to do after this. Again, for people that are just tuning in, the reason why I'm doing this way is because I had problems with my internet connection. I was trying to do a live stream where I was going to talk about all these subjects, but instead I'm just going to have to do them one by one and upload them as separate videos. So this next video is about the situation out of Florida, Clearwater, Florida, where you had this brother by the name of Markeis McGlockton shot down and killed by a white man. A 28-year-old black man shot and killed by a white man by the name of Michael Drejka, a 48-year-old. This man shot this brother over a parking spot. You know, this white man who has a history of causing trouble, who has a history of confronting people, has a history of being aggressive over these ridiculous parking spots. This man shot and killed this brother. You know, this man was arguing with his brother's girlfriend, telling her that she shouldn't be parked in this spot. It's a handicapped spot and this and that. And this brother, Markeis McGlockton, went out there to confront this man because this man was threatening the brother's girlfriend and his children. So this man confronts this guy, pushes the guy to the ground, and then the guy, Michael Drejka, pulls out a gun. Markeis McGlockton, he doesn't run towards the guy. He backs away from the guy. At that point, the brother is not posing a threat to this man. But this man proceeds to shoot and kill this brother in front of his child, in front of his son. All of this over a parking spot. And you had that punk-ass sheriff down there who refused to bring charges against this guy for killing this brother in cold blood. He said, well, he thinks he was acting under self-defense under stand your ground law in Florida. So for that reason, this sheriff was hesitant to bring charges. And what happened was this, the Florida prosecutors decided to charge this man, Michael Drejka, with manslaughter charges. And he faces up to 30 years in jail. So I have to commend the prosecutors for bringing these charges against him. This man deserves to face a jury of his peers and be judged by his peers. And unfortunately, we saw what happened in Trayvon Martin's case. Now, while this is great that he's being charged, this is no guarantee that there will be justice. It is likely or possible that this man may walk away just like George Zimmerman walked away after killing Trayvon Martin. So again, the people need to continue to apply pressure on government officials. That is the only reason why charges were probably brought in this case, because the people said that it was outrageous. The people demonstrated, the people voiced their opposition to this nonsense. And because of that, they decided to press charges on this man, Michael Drejka. I know that had to have been a factor in the decision-making process. So we have charges against this guy. But I think that what really needs to happen in Florida is that the people need to stand up and repeal that stand your ground law, because what has happened is that law has been used as a license to kill black people. We saw it in the Trayvon Martin case, and we're seeing it in this situation where you have these cowards who provoke black people deliberately, and instead of handling the matter with their physical selves, like physically by fighting their way out of the situation, these people get in over their heads and they pull out a gun and kill black people. But let a black man be in a situation where he is defending himself. They will say that he's not standing his ground, like this brother who confronted this man who was threatening his loved ones. Why isn't he considered standing his ground? Why wasn't Trayvon Martin considered to be standing his ground when that punk wannabe cop, George Zimmerman, the real thug, confronted Trayvon Martin? Why couldn't Trayvon Martin raise the stand your ground thing? because it's reserved for white people and, other non-black people. If you had black people walking around armed in Florida, waiting for something to happen, they would probably change this law overnight. So yeah, I mean, what needs to happen is the people need to mobilize and they need to repeal this law, this stand your ground law. So yeah, so I just wanted to stress that, man. And this whole situation, this whole situation with this stand your ground law, again, is another reminder of how elections are so important. It was elected officials that enacted this law in the state legislature in Florida. So we need to have elected officials in office that oppose this law so that this law can be repealed. So anyone that's running around here telling you and me that our votes doesn't matter, that is a fool. That is a buffoon, and that is somebody that is not worthy of having followers and supporters. All they are doing is taking away power from the black community by helping to suppress the black vote by discouraging black people not to vote. So we need to mobilize ourselves, not only just with these protests, we need to march to the polls and vote these people out. And that's what I encourage the people in Florida to do. Ask these politicians, what is your position on the stand your ground law? If they support it, then they need to be voted out of office.